by Ram trucks built to serve.
Back here on First Things First, look who's joining us now. Colts O-Pro linebacker, Darius Leonard. Darius, good morning. Thank you so much for being with us. We hope you and your family are well and safe, and we're going to jump right in. You're outside. We're stuck inside. It looks glorious and lovely there. Tell us a little bit about what your quarantine time has looked like the last couple of weeks.
I was in Tampa, Florida, and once they shut everything down in Tampa, I came back down to South Carolina, just to be around the family, and still working out at 5 in the morning, and then just kind of relaxing from there.
Darius, I think a lot of people know your story of the last 2 years. Instantly walked into the NFL as an all-pro level player, nearly 300 tackles in 2 seasons, one of the absolute best players in the league through only 2 years. But I don't know how many people know about the story beforehand. You had some tragedy early in your life. You wanted to go to Clemson, where your brother went. You didn't get an offer. You end up at South Carolina State, for which I has some amazing football and political alumni, but it's obviously not a Division I program. Can you tell the audience a little bit about your path to the NFL? Because I think it's an amazing story.
First of all, I went to a small high school here in South Carolina. So, just being overlooked coming out of high school, like I said, didn't have any big-time offers. South Carolina State was the only big offer that I had. I went to South Carolina State, was playing receiver and linebacker, didn't know exactly what position I was going to play. Then I moved to linebacker, had to fight my way up, just having that dog mentality, wanting to prove everybody wrong, and, just getting everything out of the gutter, that made me who I am today, just pushing, just striving to be the best.
Darius, I know you're on the other side of the ball, but you guys added Philip Rivers as your quarterback now. What was your initial reaction in hearing the news? And does Philip Rivers' leadership have any carryover to the defense or the entire team?
When I first found out, it was very shocking. Definitely looking forward to him coming in, being that competitor that he is, that veteran that he is, and his leadership skills. Being a quarterback, that leadership role is much bigger than the offensive side of the ball. They show exactly what it takes to be an NFL ball player, and they show how to do all the right things. So I do think that his leadership role can, spill over to the defensive side of the ball and the special team as well.
Darius, this has been an offseason full of rumors, a lot of quarterbacks circulating around, wondering where everyone's going to end up. You guys got Philip Rivers. There were reports that the Colts were interested in getting Tom Brady. Is there something to, knowing that this is probably Tom Brady's last team or last contract, is there something to wishing that you could have or wondered what it would have been like to play on a team with a guy who many people call the greatest of all time?
There's some times where you do think, what would it be like to play against, play with Tom Brady, him being the greatest of all time, him being that leader, to being a 6-time Super Bowl champion. You want to be around someone who knows how to win, to pick their brains a little bit, or, just in practice, facing him day in and day out to make yourself better. So, there are things that you do really think about of playing a quarterback like that.
We've talked a lot about quarterbacks, Darius. I want to ask you about the guy who played quarterback for you for the majority of your first 2 seasons, Jacoby. I thought you guys looked like the best team in the division until he got hurt. I know he came back and played through the injury, but he wasn't really himself. When you sign Philip Rivers $25 million, it becomes his job, so to speak. Do you think Jacoby is a starting quarterback in this league? And
yes.
At his best, how good do you think you guys could have been? Go ahead.
Oh, that's an easy question. We were 5-2 with him 100%. Then he got hurt, and I think that took a toll of his game a little bit, especially with his knee. As a quarterback, you got to have your lower strength. And I really do think he's a starting quarterback. And I think if he would stay healthy the whole year last year, I really do think would have been a playoff contender team and probably run deep in the playoffs.
Darius, I'm going to switch gears a bit here. last month we had a big day in my house. My son, who's in kindergarten, came home and said he was engaged. He had proposed to someone in kindergarten. And my wife and I said we entertained it. We said, "Oh, that's funny. That's cute," and we pretended to we paid a little lip service to it. But then I read your story and that you met your wife in kindergarten. So I said, "Oh my goodness!" I had to tell my wife, "How seriously should I be taking my son's proposal?"
You might want to take it serious because I remember when I was younger. My wife Kayla. I remember we used to play family back in kindergarten, and now that we're married and we have a family, who would have thought all that playing around in kindergarten really came true? So you might want to pay that some serious attention.
I like it. All right, Darius, let's return to focus back on the field. You have the privilege of playing the Titans twice a year, which means you have the privilege of playing and tackling the league's leading rusher in Derrick Henry. What was that like, and what are you, now that you've played against it and tried to stop it, what do you look forward to next season?
Derrick Henry is he's a great running back, and playing against him twice a year is definitely a challenge. I always say he's a defensive end playing running back. I'm a small linebacker. He outweighs me about maybe 20 to 30 pounds, and a guy like me, I always say it's not the size of the dog that's in the fight, it's the size of the fight that's in the dog. And, just facing him, it makes me so much better in my game. And, having my defensive line coming back and adding some new faces to the defensive line, having the same linebacker core. And, we always say it's 11 versus 1 against when we tackling him. So, we definitely just got to have everybody get into the ball.
I think people watching this interview might be surprised if they don't already know this. Your nickname is the Maniac, or Maniac. You seem very understated. You're chill. You met your wife when you were 5. You're a family man. How did the nickname come about, and why do you embrace it?
The Maniac name came about my junior year after I played against Clemson. I had 19 tackles and a blocked field goal. And I came back on campus and someone said, "Hey, man, you play like a straight maniac." And once they said it, that kind of clicked. I kind of went with it. And, me on the field versus off the field is two different guys. On the field, I'm out there running around, jumping up and down, going crazy, just trying to make every single play. Then when I'm off the field, I'm the most polite guy, very well-mannered. And, nobody would have think that the guy that's on the field is the same guy that's off the field, and I embrace both of them.
Darius, you guys finished the season 1-4, kind of like a lackluster finish. What do you need to do this upcoming year to carry your momentum that you had early in the year all the way through?
I got to be more consistent. I'm only going to speak on the defensive side of the ball. With me being one of the defensive leaders, I really felt like defensively we was inconsistent. That was sometimes where we played a great first half, and then we go out the second half and don't play as well. So we got to see exactly what was the difference between our first half and second half ball games, and see can we fix whatever problem that we have, and hopefully we can fix that league, and hopefully we can hit the ground running and don't have any inconsistency in our game this year.
Darius, when you were in 8th grade, your teacher asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, and very confidently you just wrote down a professional football player. In kindergarten, you met your friend and you're like, yep, that's going to be my wife. I love that you've had most of your life set out for you long before the rest of us.